All right, everybody, so I'm going to show you how to create a simple series circuit here on TinkerCAD by using a breadboard, a resistor, a battery, and an LED. That's how simple you can make these things. So first, we want to grab our breadboard and we want to bring that over. All right. Then I know I'm going to need a battery. I'm going to connect that to my positive and my negative. So my positive and then my negative is my ground. All right. So that's connected into my top terminals. And then what I'm going to need as well is a resistor, which I can drag over here, and an LED. Now, you might be wondering, where in the world am I going to put these things? So the way that a breadboard works, and we're going to talk about this, hopefully whoever has created their breadboard presentation for us has done a very great job. But what we've got here is power rails, okay, on these terminals. And what we need to understand is that each of these actually has a positive and negative end, all of these different components that we're going to use, okay? So as long as everything goes into series, which is what we're learning here with series and parallel circuits, I can put my red LED anywhere on here, all right? I can also turn my resistor. I need to rotate my resistor so that it works in series with our other components. And I am going to put my resistor over here. Now, what you need to understand is that the resistance is very important. The resistor is very important that it is in series the correct way with the LED, okay? That the terminals all line up correctly. Now, in order to get power to this thing, I need to wire my power coming from my positive to my negative end, okay? My resistor is going to resist the flow of energy inside of my circuit, which will in turn, depending on the resistance level, light up my LED. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a wire up here to my negative end, okay? And I'm going to send positive power coming from this terminal. It doesn't matter how these go as long as the energy is traveling correctly. Okay? Now what we can look at here is it's not working, is my resistance value. So if I click on my resistance value, right now you can see that I have 1,000 ohms going into this thing. Well, that's too much. Let's do 200 ohms and see what happens when I click Start Simulation. Well, we've got our LED lit up, but according to our little arrow, exclamation point, what does that say? If I hit Stop Simulation and start that back up, when I hover over it, it says current through the LED is 33.8 milliamps, while recommended is only 20. The usable lifetime of the LED may be reduced. That's okay. For the sake of this, we've got our LED lit up. But what we could do is we could put a little bit more resistance through there. So let's see what happens when we go up to like 235 instead of 200. And I start my simulation. Oh, it's still there. We're getting better. So we'll stop. And as you can see, the higher I go, the less resistance that's going through the circuit. Excuse me, the more resistance, the less energy. So let's just see when we do 1,000. All right, and I hit Start Simulation. Now we've got a very dimly lit LED, but it's doing the correct thing. So this was setting up a simple series circuit.